Hey guys, Brad here. Just got married this last weekend. Pretty exciting stuff. This week we're talking about Samson and Delilah. Has anybody heard that song by the Plain White T's called Hey There Delilah? I was just looking through my stuff this week for stuff on Samson and Delilah, and I ran into this song and listened to it a few times. I've heard it, a bunch before that. But it's kind of a cool song, and it kind of made me think about the story of Samson and Delilah. I don't know if you've ever heard the song or not, but the line, "Oh, it's what you do to me," gets repeated in the course of the song over and over as the chorus. And it's interesting because this guy's telling this basically this love story about this girl that's really far away from him. And he's saying, it doesn't really matter what we're going through right now because, in the future it's going to be all right. It's going to work out. I'll have made it big in my, it sounds like he wants to be a rock star, and she's still in school. And he's like, it doesn't matter. We're gonna make it big someday. But it's a couple years down the road, and he's pining about this whole, oh, it's what you do to me. And I was thinking about this in terms of the story of Samson and Delilah, and just kind of how that story works. It's a story in the Bible in the period of the time of the Judges, and Samson and Delilah are kind of a match made in hell, as it were. They're a couple who are not good for each other. She gets hired, kind of maybe threatened by the Israelites' enemies at the time, the Philistines, who kind of had them in captivity, and she kind of gets forced into this position where she has to figure out how to defeat Samson, and she uses her feminine powers to try and do that to Samson. And I was thinking about this story of these different things that Samson tells her, that, oh, this is how you can trick me, and this is how you can overcome me. And really, well, he lies to her, 2 or 3 times in the story, and then finally tells her the truth, and he pays the results of giving away the secret of his strength. And this song, "Oh, it's what you do to me," I can hear Samson, kind of singing the same song at the same time, saying, "Oh, it's what you do to me." This woman's kind of driving him a little bit crazy. So, is this story a story in the Bible about how we shouldn't trust women, or how women are the downfall of every good man or something? I don't think so. I don't think that's at all what it's saying. If you think about it, it's really a story of strength. We all draw on something for strength, right? It's kind of an interesting story because Samson's strength comes from this vow that he's taken. It comes from the fact that he has long hair. That can kind of be a symbol of a deeper strength that is from within. And for Samson, his hair is just a representation that his strength comes from God. And I was thinking back as I just got married this last weekend, all the different girls that I dated in high school, and the different relationships that I had as a young adult and things like that. I feel like my biggest thing was oftentimes is that I would draw on those relationships for strength. And maybe Samson's weakness or fault is that he tries to draw on his strength from this woman instead of God. I don't know, maybe that could be what's happening here. So, in just thinking about that stuff, I was thinking about, where do I draw my strength from? And I was thinking, if I drew all of my strength from my wife and from that relationship that I have with her, or really any other person, but it would probably be easiest for me to try and find it in her, that would completely just consume her, and there'd be nothing left of her to give. And I was thinking about it more and more. I would try and find my strength in all these different things that I do, and different relationships that I have, and people I know. And when I find the most peace, I find that sometimes that's when I'm alone and I'm with God, and I'm finding my strength in just spending quiet times with God. And it's kind of cool because it's kind of God's kind of this this wealth, this resource that never runs dry. We could try and consume them all that we wanted to, but I was thinking about the song then in terms of, oh, it's what you do to me, and maybe that's a statement that we could say that we make to God. God gives us all this love, and it changes us, it shapes us. It's about what God's love does to us. That really can give us our strength, that can give us what we draw on for life. Just kind of an interesting thought to think about. When you hear that song on the radio now, hopefully you'll think about the story of Samson and Delilah. But I encourage you to think about where we draw our strength for life from, and challenge you to think about where that is that you get your strength from. Is it trying to suck another person dry of all their resources, or do you spend time in the quietness and find God and take your strength from God?